It actually took a very tough beating to get me out of the sport.
Pacquiao.
Manny Pacquiao.
Oscar de la Hoya stood still, soaking in the echoes of gloves pounding leather. Across the gym, a shadow danced familiar, relentless, terrifyingly fast. It was Manny Pacquiao, 46 years old and for years removed from war, yet moving with the same fury that once ruled arenas. De la Hoya watched, stunned, as time bent around a legend refusing to fade.
He beat the hell out of me. Manny Pacquiao would be right in front of me. He would, after hitting me 15 times,
He didn't come to reminisce. De la Hoya came to see if there was anything left, if the fire still flickered. What he found wasn't nostalgia, it was danger. Pacquiao didn't return for applause. He came for the fight. The spark in his eyes wasn't memory, it was hunger.
I would be ready to hit him, and he would be wide open, and I couldn't pull the trigger. I just couldn't.
After trading punches, sweat, and silence, De La Hoya finally spoke, and the words cracked like thunder in the gym. No sentiment, no soft reflection, just raw respect. He talked about the fire in every jab, the purpose behind each combination. And in Pacquiao's eyes, he swore he saw something immortal.
Still remember to this day the conversation I had with Oscar when I first told him, hey, you should fight Pacquiao.
De La Hoya described it vividly how Pacquiao, the man who shattered records in 8 divisions, trained like a prodigy chasing his first belt. Explosiveness, precision, rhythm, none of it had dulled. Age hadn't slowed him, it sharpened him. De La Hoya confessed he had expected erosion. What he saw was evolution.
Oscar laughed. He's too little. He's too little, that guy. There is a difference of almost 20 pounds.
When asked the inevitable why now, Pacquiao gave a one-line answer that echoed louder than a knockout. I still love this. It wasn't about proving anything. It was about testing himself again. De La Hoya nodded. True fighters don't retire, they just wait. And when Pacquiao moved, youth looked like the past. The fire had never left. It was now a furnace.
People want to see that fight. People are excited. He's the guy that's coming up. He's fast, Oscar, but eventually your size is going to break him down.
De La Hoya peeled back the curtain. Pacquiao running before sunrise, meditating by twilight, mixing prayer with punishment. It wasn't a routine, it was a ritual. Then came the memories how Pacquiao once dismantled him. 15 precise punches. That felt biblical, it haunted him. Now it inspired him. Pacquiao wasn't reliving the past, he was redefining it, even in sparring sessions protected by secrecy and respect.
It was not right. I could see it in his eyes. He's not even throwing punches. What is he doing?
Pacquiao snakes his left hand through De La Hoya's guard.
There were no shortcuts, no pulled punches. Pacquiao attacked each drill like it was round 12 of a title fight. This wasn't a legend chasing nostalgia, it was a warrior rewriting his legacy. De La Hoya saw it, the rise from prodigy to senator, and back again, and this fight with Barrios? It wasn't just a match, it was a mission. A reminder, a reckoning.
Like, fuck. He had no legs, he had no pop, he had no punch.
Barrios stood across the ring, every inch the modern athlete. But Pacquiao's grin, loose arms, light feet spoke louder than muscle. De La Hoya knew the trick. Let the young lion think you're tame, then roar. Barrios threw flurries. Pacquiao slipped, smirked, and whispered with his movement, "You're not ready, power is one thing." But that smile, that was psychological warfare.
Pacquiao is making De La Hoya look old, slow, ineffectual. De La Hoya has 0 answers.
Then came the defense drills. Pacquiao didn't just block, he baited, parried, snapped counters that rocked the heavy bag. De La Hoya called it art forged in fire, not by technology. Defense, real defense, is learned through pain, not programs. And Pacquiao's instincts still steel sharper than code.
I was scared. And I said, you know what? The spark's not there. He doesn't have it. He doesn't have it.
And then, the bigger question, why return at all? De La Hoya posed it without flattery. The toll of for decades, the scars, the silent aches, they were real, but Pacquiao chose the ring again. Not for fame, not for fortune, but because he still Could that choice, that was power, that was the knockout.
Fight Pacquiao again because he kicked my ass. Sorry. But yeah, there were many fighters out there who I would have loved to fight 2 or 3 times.
At one point, Pacquiao corrected Barrios mid-drill tiny adjustment, massive lesson. It wasn't just mentorship, it was dominance. The gym quieted. De La Hoya laughed. He called it divine schooling. When Pacquiao trained, the room transformed each. Punch's sermon, each breath of prayer, recovery too, was sacred. Cold baths, prayer, pain, Pacquiao lived it. No shortcuts, no comfort zones.
So you had enough of Pacquiao is what you're saying.
Oh, trust me. Right when I walked into the ring, I had enough of Pacquiao.
Faith wasn't a footnote, it was Pacquiao's armor. Prayer before pain, calm before chaos. It wasn't soft, it was strategic. Then, De La Hoya described the weightlifting session. Pacquiao moved iron like it was silk, power from harmony. Mind and body as one, that's where greatness lives. Not in youth, but belief, and Pacquiao believed harder than anyone.
Thought that when you got in the ring?
Oh, well, Rich, this documentary, my gosh, it's sad too at the end because it shows the whole Pacquiao situation.
To those saying Pacquiao's best days were behind him, De La Hoya offered sarcasm and smoke. Write his obituary after round 6. He joked, but the truth underneath? Experience beats flash, wisdom walks taller. The legacy wasn't about belts. It was about belief in rings, in neighborhoods, in dreams. Pacquiao wasn't returning for titles, he was returning for hope.
Getting beat up in training camp when preparing for Pacquiao. So I knew that was the end already.
The media buzz was undeniable. De La Hoya said it plainly. Barrios might have youth, but Pacquiao owned the headlines. The hype, the drama, the numbers all favored the comeback. De La Hoya called it controlled insomnia, the tension before. A fight, the edge only legends understand. Pacquiao didn't fear youth. He stared it down, ready to burn brighter.
Because Pacquiao was just coming up.
Yeah.
Pacquiao was like the star in the making.
De La Hoya brought up Foreman how history dismissed his miracle as luck. He warned fans, it's happening again, and this time, it's Pacquiao's turn. A veteran storm rolling in to flatten expectations, bet on the fighter who never left. De La Hoya ended with a dare, choose your side youth's promise or greatness proven.
But what really screwed up my whole training for that fight was I started drinking heavy.
The press conference pulsed with tension. Every question hit like a jab. Pacquiao calm, Barrios cocky. Cameras flashing like lightning. At weigh-ins, the tension ignited, the crowd erupted. On social media, debates exploded, hashtags flew, odds shifted, clips dropped. But amid the chaos, experts kept circling back. Pacquiao's IQ might be the X factor. And as baits poured in, belief leaned toward the legend.
During training camp, and nobody knew. Oh yeah. I mean, it gets... So I was literally a dead man walking.
Comebacks hit different. They carry myth. They carry memory. Pacquiao's echoed Foreman, echoed Hopkins, echoed history. His eyes in the final montage said it all, no fear, just purpose. Barrios brought energy, Pacquiao brought clarity. As fans flooded the arena in glitz and glam, he wore simplicity. A small flag, a calm heart, and the fire to silence time itself.
I always was like here, you know, and my mouthpiece, which I had to make special,